Hello lovely people, a very warm welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon. Let's have a look at the energy of the UK, because as I'm sure you're aware, everybody that lives in the UK or knows about the UK for sure knows that we're in a bit of a crisis at the moment. So as promised in my last video where I mentioned that people in power are all puppets, which they are, I want to dive a bit deeper and go in and see what the energy is all about. Now, I've had a look at Starmer already. I've tried to tune into his energy. Obviously, you can do that. The person doesn't need to be in spirit for you to connect or tune into their energy and see what's going on. He's incredibly difficult to read. He's putting a lot of barriers up. What I do get the feeling is that he kind of wants to be known on the world stage and is not really interested in doing the best for the UK or what is right. He just kind of wants to get his name and his face out there for whatever reason. I do find that a bit odd. There is a lot going on that we don't know about. Additional stuff that is going on that we don't know about that is hidden, what they're telling me. And when I say them, I mean the spirit fam. What they're telling me is that most of what we don't see is cloaked by darkness. And they mean not only in the spiritual sense, but the physical sense as well. It's kind of hidden under the cover of darkness. Let's reword it. Hidden under the cover of darkness. That's what a lot of things are going on when most people are asleep or, you know, kind of chilling out, don't really know what's going on. And then obviously we wake up and then we hear one thing, but 10 other things have gone on during the night. Does that make sense? So let's have a look. I've got a few decks. I'm going to start with Starmer. For those that don't know, I'm assuming you do. If you're here, he is the current Prime Minister of the UK. He was voted in 2024 via his Labour government. So let's have a look. I'm going to start with the tarot, and I am using the Midnight Magic tarot deck. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And it's essentially, it's a beautiful deck, and it's mushrooms and fungi. And this is just additional proof to me that Spirit has a great sense of humour, because when I picked the deck up, I thought, yeah, okay. So we are essentially treated like mushrooms, kept in the dark and fed a load of SH1T. That's exactly what I thought. And my aunt, actually, who is in spirit now, used to actually say that years ago. Yeah, it's just funny. It just proves that they do have a really good sense of humour. So let's get into it. Okay, so as always, the energy has been cleansed. I've cleansed the cards. As always, I've cleansed myself and the energy surrounding me. I'm going to do a 9-card spread. So 3, 3 and 3, because I want to see really what the centre, kind of what makes him tick. That's what I want to know. I think that's what most people want to know, really. I mean, it might be that you're really not interested. It doesn't matter, but let's start. Okay, so we have so the first card out is the Star. Okay, so we'll pull the cards, I'll show you them, then we'll dive a bit deeper and see what is actually going on. So Keir Starmer. Okay, I've just heard call me sir. Okay, 6 of Swords. Now, this deck might look dark and dingy, but it isn't. The artwork is absolutely stunning. That's why I was drawn to it, really. With all my decks, I'm always drawn to the artwork and the feeling of the deck, of course, the energy surrounding it. We've got the Five of Swords. Okay. So I want another 6 cards. Seven of Pentacles. Let's make sure I've got room. If I'm looking down as well, I do have a crystal ball. Okay, I've got another one behind me, which was my mum's. This I bought a few years ago, so I'm trying to scry as well to see what else. We've got the Page of Pentacles at the centre of the reading. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. So I want 3 more cards for Sir Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK. Now we've actually had 4 cards fall out, so I'm going to take them. We've got the Two of Swords. We've got the Knight of Swords. We have Justice. And we have the Devil. Okay, so I'm going to take that as well. I will get some clarifiers as well from a different deck. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's chat, see what we've got going on. So let's start from the top. We've got the Star. So I was talking about he wants to get his face and his name out there. He really does. That's all he's interested in. It's like, might need to put my specs on for this as well so that I can see the cards properly, so I can tap into their images. Okay, so I feel like this big mushroom here, which is called a golden reishi mushroom. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. To all our mushroom lovers out there and experts, I am not one of them. I do like to eat them, but I wouldn't know one from the other. Only the ones that you buy in the supermarket. Okay, so I feel this is him. And this is all these little mushrooms around the side here. This is all his cabinet. He's the one that wants to be in the limelight, and he's pushing everybody else away. It's like, get out of my way. I'm in charge here kind of attitude. Yeah, he's just interested in getting his name out there. He doesn't understand. As I said in my last video, he's been born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He doesn't understand the real people that make up the majority of this country, or any country for that matter. He doesn't understand the struggle. You know, the fact that we have people that can't afford to clothe and feed their children properly. We have people on the street that have no house, no shoes. And that, to me, is absolutely heartbreaking. And that is what needs to change. And that is what people have had enough about. You know, the fact that we're bringing in all these migrants, illegal immigrants, to this country, and they're getting handouts, and people are struggling in this country. So that is something definitely that needs to change, but I don't think it will. I don't feel it will. Well, as long as he's in power. I do get this feeling he is going to step down, or he's going to be asked to step down. I've got this feeling something's going to come out, but that's obviously for the future. Okay, so the next card we have the Six of Swords. And this card is, well, this mushroom is an aquatic guild mushroom. Beautiful artwork. I absolutely love this artwork. Six of Swords. This is what we were talking about. We've all had enough and we kind of want to move away. But he wants to, you see where we've got this main mushroom again with all the rest. Hopefully the light isn't reflecting too much. Let's see if we can get that a bit closer for you. But you can see the same as this one, the star, where we've got the main mushroom at the front and then all the little ones at the back. He is just keen on being the one at the front here. It's like, oh, blow everybody else, you know. It doesn't matter. I'm the one in charge. I'm the PM of the country, and that's it. The next one, we've got the Five of Swords, because actually we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 swords cards overall, and we've got 1, 2 pentacles, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. So it is a bit of a balance. Pentacles is obviously money. He is all about the money for himself, not for us. Five of Swords, again, he wants to be the main man. What mushroom is this? This is orange birch bolete. And then we've got, again, the people in the background. He's in the foreground. Yay, look at me kind of energy. He's very much up in his head with this, which is swords energy, air energy. He does do a lot of thinking, but there's no action. It's like he's all talk and no action, if you like. All fluff and no feathers. I don't know. I was just going to say I don't know where that's come from, but obviously I do, because it's the fam, you know. They tell me to say, well, they imprint images and words in my head, and then I just come out with it. But I have to, it's my job to try and interpret the messages that they bring to me and to us in a way that we can all understand. He's got slugs crawling on him, and I don't mean literally, but this mushroom has. And I feel that that is the likes of Farage, and I'm going to have a look at him in a minute. I'm going to have a look at Rachel Reeves as well as, so I've had to write them down because names, you know, when you're in the menopause are okay. Plus Angela Rayner as well. But this is about Starmer. But he's very much like, no, get off. I'm not having it. Five of Swords energy. That's it. I will fight you. And I will, if you're a slug on my shoulder, I'm going to pour salt on you and watch you sizzle. That's his energy. And that is actually quite horrible, isn't it? Okay. We've now got the Seven of Pentacles. This is a June cup mushroom. Let me just tune into this energy a minute. he is putting out bad energy, and we can see from this mushroom here, it's kind of emitting all this stuff, or the stuff that's coming out from it. And we can see the moon there with the water as well. As I said at the beginning, a lot of things are done under the cover of darkness that we don't know what's going on about. Essentially, he's giving, or he's not giving us any choices. It's like, love me, love the way that I do things. Tough if you don't like it. You voted me in, there you go. That's it. And I feel that this water in the background is really significant, obviously, for the UK with regard to the migrants that are coming over, as well as under the cover of darkness. Let's keep going. So the centre of his reading is this hedgehog mushroom, Page of Pentacles. And what the hedgehogs do, they come out at night, don't they? I find that really interesting. And I feel that this on the top of this mushroom is actually like a water droplet. Might not be. That's the energy that I'm picking up from this card and the visual that I'm getting from it. Page is quite young energy as well. They bring news. So the news that he brings is not great. As I said, it's literally like, if you don't like it, tough, because you voted me in kind of attitude. I just want to get my name out there. I just want to get my face out there, you know, be best friends with Trump and etc. Next card, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Obviously, the Wheel of Fortune turned in his favour, didn't it, when people voted him in last year. And this is a common puffball. I remember seeing these in the fields around the Cotswolds when I was a child. This card, though, actually has energy coming out of the mushrooms, if you can see the faces in there. As I was talking about in my previous video where they're all puppets, they really are controlled by a different type of energy that we don't understand. We can call it what you like, you know, demonic, anything, reptilian, you know. It doesn't really matter because it's essentially what it is. It's a lower vibrational energy that seems to have hijacked this planet. And that is what is controlling the people in charge. And they love it. They want us all in fear, because when you're in fear, you're easier to control and you're easier to manipulate. And the division that we're having at the moment with people up in arms with regard to migrants crossing the channel coming to the UK, absolutely bombarding us with additional people, it's causing a division. But what is it that we say? Divide and conquer. You see, when we start coming together as one, yes, we have issues. Every country has its issues. But when we start to realise that we can do things in the right way, that's when things will start to change, you know. So we have the devil. This is called a lobster mushroom. Look at that. Wow. Never seen a mushroom like that, to be fair. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is just speaks for itself, really. We're the ones that tied up, or we think we are. We believe we're trapped. But I've said many times in videos that that's kind of in the mind. That's just the belief that they want us to believe, all part of this power and control that we've all kind of been brought up with and that we're still going through. Yeah, this is very, very low vibrational energy. We don't need to worry. We have Archangel Michael here for our protection. Okay, mine as well as yours. So you don't need to worry. This reading is absolutely fine. You are protected. So we have the Two of Swords. This mushroom is piggyback rosegill. So piggyback, interesting analogy there, because I feel like he is piggybacking on this low vibrational energy. On the back of that, and he's being manipulated as well as to what he says and what he does and how he thinks. Because what we have to remember is they are controlled as much as we are. Okay, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and so is he. But the people in power have been guided and led into that position for whatever reason. And they are then manipulated and controlled by this lower, extremely low vibrational energy. Next card, we have the Knight of Swords, Zombie Ant Fungus. Oh my goodness, look at that card. Just look at the energy of that card. Didn't I mention about the zombie apocalypse? I feel like it was already on us, or upon us. This card kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? That we are being treated like ants, and I feel like the people in power are just zombies as well. They're just sort of walking around, with wood in their heads, if you like, puppets. The final one is Justice, Old Man of the Woods. So this card really speaks to me and says that justice will be done. We don't have to worry. It's going to be sorted out. And it's the Old Man of the Woods. That means it's the wise man, okay? The ancestors are stepping in. And from looking at some of the cards that I've got here, I will show you other cards as well in a minute. They are definitely all with us, and they really want us to step forward, and because they are helping us at this time. Let's just get a couple of clarifiers from a different tarot deck. So what is the energy surrounding Sir Keir Starmer? Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to call him Sir. He's no better than me or you or anybody. Just because he's got a title that he likes to be labelled as. Just because his energy is saying to me, call me Sir. No, I won't. I'm going to call you Keir. There you go, Ace of Pentacles. So it really is all about the money. He's holding on to this money. As we can see, both hands are around this coin here. To him, it's all about the money. And he doesn't really care about how it affects anybody else, like, as he likes to say, or think, the little people like you and me. But let me tell you something. We are not the little people. Okay? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this is an experience, and we have all chosen to be here at this time to experience this, like it or not. But it is hard work, but we are going to get through it, because justice will prevail, because the wonderful, wonderful energies in spirit, I'm talking about the angelic realms, the galactic realms, the higher vibrational spirit that are up there or around us and within us, they are working hard to help us out. But we have to help ourselves as well. They can't do everything for us, unfortunately, because that's like cheating on a test, isn't it? You know, if the teacher teaches you something in class, they're not going to sit next to you during your A-levels or whatever, you know, and tell you all the answers. That's a part of our learning. So what else do you want to say about here? He had aspirations of running the country when he was a young boy, I'm picking up on. And I can see him in short pants and long socks running around. 6 of Cups. We will get to this. We are reminiscing about the past. We are thinking about, oh, it was better when it was this, you know. And I was talking about this at work the other day, how, you know, life seems so much better, maybe simpler, more complicated years ago. But was it really? You know, we kind of had this in-depth discussion about it. And I think every decade, every generation has its issues. Like I can remember all the power cuts of the 1970s, you know, which were an absolute nightmare. So every era in time has its own issues. What else do you want to say? The Hierophant. It's all about learning, isn't it? It's about, look at this figure here. He's like in a meditative state. So let's all try and go within a bit and take time to really understand what's going on here. Let's try and see the bigger picture. Okay. So let's leave Starmer. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Let's have a look at Rachel Reeves next. Let's just clear the energy a second. Now, for those that don't know, Rachel Reeves is the Chancellor of the Exchequer in the UK, which is the head of His Majesty's Treasury. That means she holds the purse strings. Okay, so cleanse those. Oh, okay, so the card on the bottom, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do a 9-card deck reading again, spread, I mean. Okay, so we've got one fallen out. So we've got on the bottom of the deck, which I am going to take, is the Magician. She's manifested this role. She's absolutely. And I'm going to put that at the centre of her reading, actually. So we've got the 9 of Cups. We've got the World. 10 of Wands. Okay. We've got 2 of Swords. We had that in Starmer's, didn't we? We've got can't make it up, not that I would, Magician again. So we've actually got the Magician twice, so that is definitely at the centre of her reading. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got Judgment. We had that in Starmer's again. We've got the High Priestess. Wow. And we've got the Hierophant. Okay. Rachel Reeves. Yeah, we've definitely switched from very masculine to very feminine energy now. Bearing in mind, still being manipulated. So we've got the Nine of Cups. Mushroom is this? This is water club mushroom. There you go. So actually, she lets her emotions flow. She's quite good with showing her emotions, and I think we witnessed that, didn't we, the other week? Didn't she burst into tears in the House of Commons or something? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, she's not afraid actually to show her emotions. She worries as well. I'm picking up on. She worries that people don't like her, and that has an effect on her, which is quite a shame, really. You know, for all my humanness, I still try and have compassion for these people. Even if you don't particularly like what they do or what they say, how they act, etc., still try and have compassion for the human experience, you know, because we're all struggling in our own way. We're all learning in our own way. We're all experiencing in our own way. So this is honey mushroom, and this is represented as the world. So this job is her world. It absolutely is. She loves her job, but she still worries that people don't like her. She does do a lot of crying. She feels very stressed. I'm picking up, where it's completely opposite with Starmer. He doesn't care. He literally will make a decision. That's it. If you don't like it, tough. Whereas Rachel Reeves will make a decision and then worry about it for a bit, not for long, not for like weeks or months or years or anything. But yeah, she'll worry about it. But it's her whole world, this job. 10 of Wands, it's heavy load. It's heavy for her. She finds it very stressful, but I don't think she'll be giving it up easily or anytime soon, if you know what I mean. And unless he steps down, like I still feel like he will, or something will come out that'll sort of sideline and push him out, if you see what I mean. She might do then, but she won't give it up easily because she loves the job, even though she finds it stressful. It's earning her a shit ton of money, and she gets to live at number 11 Downing Street as well. So that's all the kudos she needs, really. So we've got the Two of Swords. She feels like sometimes she's stuck making a decision and she kind of doesn't know which way to go. She feels like she wants to do what's right, but there's something she feels like also she can't. In the back of her head, as in the back of Starmer's head as well, I feel that they're still blaming the previous party, the Conservatives, for the issues of the UK. But they really need to step. I mean, you know, we can say these things and discuss them, can't we? Like we're doing now. But they're never going to watch this video, so it doesn't matter. But they really, my feeling is, and what the fam are saying is, they need to step out of that energy of blame. we know that we live in a blame culture, but we've got to put that now on the back burner and just start to move forward and do what's right for the country now. So at the centre of her reading, cannot believe it. The mushroom depicted in this one is Little Birds of the Woods, and it's the magician. So she has clearly manifested this role. She has all the tools on the table to make changes, but she won't, because it's not in her best interest to do that. It might be in ours, to make changes for the country, but all they seem to do is just increase taxes. And it made me laugh, actually, the other day. I was watching one of the Carry On movies, and I'm not sure if you've watched Carry On, but I literally have grown up with Carry On movies, and there's one called Carry On Henry. And they were talking about taxes in that, and they wanted to bring a new tax in that was called sex enjoyment tax. I mean, you can't. It's just hilarious, Nothing would surprise me if they tried to bring in something like that. Oh my God. It would not surprise me, but, we are all taxed up to the hilt. What do people say? That's the one thing that's sure in life, death and taxes. Well, oh, it's funny. That's why I think the fam wanted me to use this deck, this mushroom deck in particular, where we're all kept in the dark and fed a load of SH1D, to try and lighten it, bring a bit of humour, because these are dark days, they are dark times, and we are struggling, So, but seriously, isn't that an absolutely gorgeous card? That depiction of the magician is absolutely stunning card. And I can see we've got the dragonfly there as well, which is the symbol of change. So I absolutely love that. But that is at the centre of Rachel Reeves' reading. So we've also got the Hanged Man. This mushroom is Velvet Shank. There we go. So what really Spirit are trying to get us to do is to see it in a different way, and for her to see what she's doing in a different way, i.e. see how she's having her decisions are having an effect on us. That's what Spirit are really trying to get her to do. But they're struggling because, as I mentioned, they seem to be just walking around with like marbles in their heads. They're not listening. Spirit can help us and guide us and advise us, even when we transition to Spirit. But the point is, do we listen? There's been many a time, and I'm sorry if there's a plane outside, if you can hear that noise, or no, actually, I think it's a helicopter going over. They're coming to get me because I'm reading on the government. No, but there's been many a time in my life, where I've had hints and, observations, evidence from the fam that they didn't want me to go somewhere or do something, and yet you completely ignore it. You're like, no, I'm fine, it's fine. And then when you kind of force it or do something, it's like a few years ago, I had a job interview that I absolutely knew I shouldn't have gone to. And I ended up taking a day off work to go to this interview, and absolutely everything went wrong. Terrible interview. The train was delayed. I couldn't find the place when I got there. Luckily, I still made it on time with about 2 minutes to spare, but yeah, it was just horrendous. That's how that things are not meant for you, and they're there, and I can imagine them now probably shouting at me, going like, Sharon, don't do it. It's not meant for you. But you ignore the signs. So that's really with the Hanged Man card. they're trying to get her and us to see things in a different way. We have judgment again. This is corpse finder. How bizarre. Really, that word, corpse finder. Yeah, they're okay. What I'm being shown in my head is like tentacles, strands of dark energy that are kind of meandering through the ether and searching out people like her and Starmer. And she's doing that as well. Corpse finder, very interesting. But we're being okay. It's not that we're being judged, or no. I feel that the population of the UK and anybody else affected by what's going on in the UK as well, we are judging her. So what we need to do is really step into the hanged man energy and try and see things from a different perspective, because there is no judgment from above, even though we have the card of judgment. What they're saying is there's no judgment anywhere, even when you transition to spirit. But what she's doing, it's almost like she's judging herself, and she is judging others, and we are judging her, and it's kind of like a vicious cycle. It's what they're showing me is actually a washing machine, and all the different clothes are all the different people in the UK, and we're all kind of mushed together, as well as this lot. Okay, Starmer, Reeves, Rayner, whatever, Farage, and we're all in this giant washing machine, kind of all getting washed and mushed together. But we still want to separate from one another because we don't like it. Divide and conquer. No, it's got to stop. So we've got the High Priestess. This mushroom is, I'll have to put my specs on for this one, Fairy Ring Champignon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Please forgive me if that's wrong. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The High Priestess. Of course, that is her energy, as is the feminine energy. But along with the Magician, you see, she's really stepped into her power, and she is, according to herself, living her best life because she really wants to conquer the world with her financial ability. Okay, she is, what's it called? Head of His Majesty's Treasury. Obviously, now we have King Charles. If the Queen was still here, she would be head of Her Majesty's Treasury. But she's the one that holds the purse strings anyway. So she's really stepped into her power, and she is loving it. As I said, she is still emotional, as we can see here. She's not afraid to let her emotions show, because things do get on top of her. And that just proves to, or what it should be doing, is proving to the rest of us she really is human. Just having a human experience. You know, love these people or hate them, we're all having a human experience, and there needs to be some level now of compassion and understanding. That change is coming, and it is out there, and it is going to be for the better. But at the moment, we are deep in the forest with all these fungi and mushrooms and everything hidden away, fed a load of thing. Okay. And then we have the Hierophant, and this mushroom is called turkey tail. It's about learning. It's absolutely about learning from each other and from experience and from what we see, what we say, what we do. She does consider herself, though, the higher echelon, like I mentioned in a previous video. They all do. They consider themselves the higher echelon, and we are kind of just the minions, you know, the ants. But as I always say, look how strong ants are when they all come together, you know, as one. Okay, so let's get another. Let's do a clarifier on Rachel Reeves, Chancellor of the Exchequer of the UK. Okay. Two of Wands. So she is kind of really surveying her world. She is like stuck on her pedestal as the High Priestess and thinking, yeah, this is good. But unfortunately, you see, she's looking down on the rest of us. We're down here as far as she's concerned, you know, looking out on her world. I mean, I have to admit, sorry if you can see things floating around. It's not Spirit Anomaly at this time. It's cat fur, probably. We've got the Ace of Wands as well. So it's quite fiery energy, isn't it? That we've got here, really. She's kind of like, yeah, this is it now. I'm holding my wand and you can't stop me, kind of. But that's the energy that I'm picking up. But if they all walked into my house now, I'd make them a cup of tea. Then I'd kick them out. You know what I mean? No. Seriously. And I'd have to cleanse the area. Obviously, cleanse my house to kingdom come. But I would be very interested to see how they actually treated me as just a normal woman, you know, who struggles a lot of the time, you know, mental health, financially, whatever it is that we all struggle with, you know, cost of living crisis, etc. I would be very interested to know what they're like, really, you know, kind of in the flesh. Yeah. Okay. Let's leave Reeves and we will go on. Who are we going to have a look at now? Should we have a look at Angela Rayner? She is the Deputy Prime Minister. And obviously, if Starmer steps down, then she will be PM. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Nobody can say, really, because, you know, we don't know the future. What we have to remember is everybody wants prediction videos, but they're incredibly difficult to do because the future can be changed, okay, in an instant, as we know. So let's move away from the energy of Starmer and Reeves, get into Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner. She's very young. I don't know how old she is. Is she about 45 of them? Young. Her energy feels young. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Cups. Again, 9-card spread. She definitely wouldn't survive for long if she became PM. She wouldn't know what to do. That's the energy I'm picking up. We got the 5 of Wands. Yeah, her energies are very young, even if she's not overly young physically. So we've got the 3 of Cups and we've got the Ace of Wands. Page of Pentacles at the centre of the reading. Wasn't that? Oh, that's interesting. That was at the centre of Starmer's reading, wasn't it? That's really interesting to me. Seven of Cups. Oh, you didn't want to go back. King of Pentacles. Oh, that's interesting, that. The Tower. We love it. Love a bit of Tower action. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles again. Wasn't that in Starmer's as well? Okay. So let's chat then. What we got here then? So we are looking at Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister to the UK. Here come the specs again. Fluted bird's nest fungus. Ooh. That's weird. That looks like fingers that are holding that fungus. Weird, because it looks like it's got a ring on. Can you see that there? Like a hand. A hand is held out. No, she's actually completely opposite to Reeves. Holding on to her emotions, not letting you see anything. She's definitely similar energy to Starmer. Probably because she's his deputy. So I would think there would be quite a lot of the word incognito meetings would be going through with them both, you know. Under the cover of darkness, what we don't see. 5 wands, very fiery. She's quite fiery. Have we got any more wands? Yeah, we have. We've actually got the Ace of Wands as well. And we've got another hand with another ring on. That's interesting. Red hot pokers, love them. Sorry, I digress. We used to have them at home in my old house growing up, and I can always remember red hot pokers in the flower beds. It's just a sentimental thing. Nothing to do with the tarot, you know, wands or anything like that. Because obviously when you're 5 years old, I don't think you really... Well, I wasn't interested in the tarot then. I didn't even know it existed. But anyway, so we've got the mushrooms, orange pinwheel, and something else. Sorry. Orange pinwheel and burn morel. Gorgeous cards. She feels very fiery. I think she's got red hair as well. Or reddish. Copper. Auburn. Yeah, her energy. I tell you what, I wouldn't actually want to mess with her at all. She's a bit like Starmer. What doesn't want to listen to anybody else. This is my way or the highway kind of attitude. So essentially, if he steps down and she steps up, it wouldn't be any better. Put it that way. It wouldn't be any better. We've got the 3 of Cups. Stalked scarlet cup mushroom. She wants to be... She would want to be in collaboration. There's 3 of them that are in collaboration together. And I feel actually that is Reeves, Rayner and Starmer. There's the 3 of them. But I feel if she stepped up and he stepped down, I think she would still be in contact, texting him, phoning him. Oh, what do I do? Because she wouldn't want to lose that collaboration between the 2 of them. And that would be the same with Reeves as well, I feel. So we've had a look at the Ace of Wands. Yeah, she really just wants to be in charge. It's literally like, if I get there, I'm going to hold the wand and I'm not giving it to you. That's kind of the attitude that I feel. Page of Pentacles as well. Hedgehog mushroom. That is that's the center of her reading, exactly the same as Starmer. They've got not the same energy, obviously, because they're different people, but they've got extremely similar energy that is flowing through them. I feel, okay, so what I'm being shown is that, do you remember me saying before that I can see these black tentacles of energy that are kind of flowing around looking, for that type of human, if you like. It's almost like if it was a hand, and weirdly, we've got two hands there, okay, depicted in each of these cards. If it was a hand of tentacles, okay, and there were 5, I feel like with this, 4 would be in Starmer, and the other one would be in her. It comes from the same essence, the same energetic frequency. Weird. That's weird. 7 of Cups. Black trumpet mushroom. Yeah, she was given all this choice. She was given a lot of choice, but she knew exactly what she wanted. Again, a bit like Starmer, where she's had, as a young girl, aspirations to become known. King of Pentacles. Oh yeah, she likes the gold and the glitter with that as well. She likes the affluence that the job is bringing. It's all about the power and the money and the position. She's actually got quite masculine energy, whereas Rayner, Reeves, Reeves, very feminine energy. Angela Rayner, quite masculine energy, all that's being brought to the forefront. Do you remember me saying in my previous video about the puppets, where Spirit was asking us to trust our eyes and not the disguise, where certain first ladies or females in power were actually men? I'm not saying that's her. I don't feel that is, but she's definitely got a masculine energy about her. And the reason is, as I'd said in that previous video, that the lower vibrational energy still wants it to be a man's world. They don't trust the female, because the female, we are the ones that essentially birth the new universes, aren't we? That's what they don't like, because we have the power to do that. So I feel that's why her masculinity, or masculine, I mean, we are all divine masculine and divine feminine, each and every single one of us. It's just that sometimes one or the other might come forward or show itself in an energetic way more so than the other, if that makes sense. They're giving me so much information. I'm trying to give it to you in a way that we can all understand, because I have to understand it as well. There's no good me just waffling on for an hour or speaking a load of what we might consider nonsense, because you'll just be like, what? And I'll be like that as well. Okay, I won't know what the hell's going on. So I'm trying to give it to us all so that we can all understand, because we're all learning together. Okay, I'm still learning the same as you and everybody else on the planet. I don't know all the answers. If I did, I wouldn't be here. You know, nobody is perfect on this planet, and we need to, what they're saying now is we need to try and move away from this idea of perfectionism, you know, of power, because we all hold the power. We do have the tower. The mushroom depicted in this card is yellow netted stinkhorn, which is kind of collapsing. Collapsing's a good word, they're saying, because they're trying to help us to make the old structures, the old way of living, the old way of believing, the old way of trusting collapse. They're trying to help us to do that. And how do we do that? Well, they're trying to help us to see things in a different way and to change our mindset, because once we do that, everything around us changes. It's not about, you know, when we talk about, oh, we're building this new earth. Yes, we are, but it's a raising consciousness. It's a different way of being. It's not literally, it's not going to be physically, there'll be a giant light bulb that will ping on over the top of the earth, or we'll just all walk through a door or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's rainbows and butterflies. But it's a different consciousness, and there are many, many, many layers of consciousness. And that's why I believe there's no heaven or no hell. There are many, many, many different layers of consciousness, of awareness. And we are here on this planet, to evolve the soul and to learn and to experience things that we want to and that we decide we're going to do pre-incarnation on this planet. But it's not easy, you know. It's hard work. This planet is hard work. So I feel that the old structures are crumbling, and they will. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that reform will get in next, you know, in the next general election in the UK, which is going to be, what, 3 years, is it? I don't know. Time? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? And then finally, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Again, she loves the money and the power and the presents. And I don't mean like Christmas presents. I mean like presents of self. She wants to be out there, and she wants to be shown to be doing a good job. And she wants to, yeah, again, she doesn't care if people like her or not. Very much like Starmer. Whereas Rachel Reeves worries about that, Rayner doesn't. As I said, they've got very, very similar energy, Starmer and Rayner, which has surprised me, actually. I wasn't expecting that. But that's the good thing about tarot and spiritual readings and speaking to the fam like we do. You know, it's always best not to have an expectation, because then you know it's coming direct from them and direct from source. That's how we know. So let's just have a couple of clarifiers for Angela Rayner. Okay, and we've got to what? Do you know what? We've got the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. I didn't want to say it, but I wish I had now. Let's just not say it while we're looking at the cards. So Starmer and Rayner. Nothing would surprise me, okay? Put it that way. Nothing would surprise me. But yeah, I had this feeling that there's more. okay, let's say it like this, what they're saying. There's more to their relationship than meets the eye. And let's leave it at that, okay? I've put that out there so, you know, we're all intelligent enough to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, let's leave it there. And finally, we've got the full, yeah, it really was her leap of faith into this job. So she's not stepping away now. That's it. Now she's taken her leap into this role. Okay, so let's mush these cards up again, and we are going to look at Nigel Farage, who is the leader of the party leader of the Reform Party in the UK. I'm just gonna shuffle all these cards again. This has actually been a really interesting reading. Now, I'm not interested in politics, put it that way, but I actually like reading on them. I think it's really fascinating and really quite good fun, and it's actually interesting, and it's something different for me to do and to bring to the channel. So I think I might do more of it. What I want to have a look at as well is some, well, which I've been getting nudged by the fam to do, is have a look at kind of historic cold cases as well, like criminal investigations. So I think that'll be really interesting, as well as looking at some really famous hauntings as well. I've been thinking about that. It's getting the time to do it. So my plan is to make more time and just keep getting the videos out there to you. I hope that's okay. So let's clear the energy. Let's clear the energy of that as well. Okay, so who are we looking at now? Nigel Farage. Okay, that one. Got that again. Right, we're going to take it. So that's his first card. That's not at the centre of his reading. Okay, we've got the Magician. We've got Four of Swords. Yo. Page of Cups. So we've got 2 pages so far. Young energy again. Okay, let's take that one. Oh, the Chariot movement. That is at the centre of his reading. Okay, we've got Page of Swords. My God, we've got 3 pages. Okay, we've got Queen of Swords. The Empress. And 6 of Wands. Right. This is very interesting. We've got 3 pages. We've got the Empress, Queen of Swords, the Chariot, 6 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and the Magician. So we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Wow. Young energy, that. It's interesting that we've had this card for Starmer, Rayner, and now Farage, but not Reeves. Reeves is a different energy because she holds the purse strings, whereas these don't. But Oh, he's quite hard to read, Farage is. I feel like with him, Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, I feel with Farage, I think his intentions are good, but I don't think he's going to follow through, which is worrying. He's very good at talking the talk, walking the walk. But I think we will be yet to see if he's going to follow through. I think there's a good chance he will get in next time. But his energy is odd. What do I mean by odd? Hard to read. There is... I don't know. I keep getting this feeling he's like full of promises, but is he going to deliver? That's what I keep feeling. I think we need to be mindful that all these people are not really doing what's right for the country. And even if Farage does get in next time, there's still going to be struggle there. Okay, so we've got the Magician. So he is manifesting, he is working with different energy to manifest himself getting in. That comes through so strong, that he is absolutely determined to get in because he believes it's what's right for the country. Four of Swords. Snow fungus. How cute is that? Isn't that a gorgeous card? Look at that little bird there wrapped up. So he's biding his time. It's like he's waiting in the wings, and he is expecting to get in. It's kind of got he's got this inner knowing that he's going to get in. Yeah, he's biding his time. So what he said, something like, isn't he going to deport 600,000 migrants or something if he gets into power, something like that? And then what he's going to do as well is like offer them like $2,000 or $2,500 or something to go. Where's that money going to come from? The taxpayer. So you know what I want us to do, what Spirit is saying they want us to do really, is to stop and think. What they've just said is don't make any hasty decisions just because something looks better or the grass looks greener. Underneath that, you might have singed turf. Because, you know, I'd noticed with Labour, what their slogan was, you know, before they got in power, was change. Change for what? Nobody actually knew because they didn't say. Yeah, change. Like, you know, where we're getting taxed up to the eyeballs more now. So, what mushroom is that one? Conifer cone cap is that one. This is, sorry, the Chariot. This is at the heart of his reading, Nigel Farage. So, yeah, he's moving forward. He is absolutely moving forward. He is doing everything that he can to push himself out there, to stay in the limelight, stay at the forefront of people's minds. He knows the country's in turmoil, we're in crisis, and he is seeing this as an opportunity now to get in and step forward and step up. He is rolling forward. So then we've got the Page of Swords, which we've just talked about, along with the Page of Cups, which we've just talked about as well, along with the Page of Pentacles, where it's young energy. It's young energy, and it feels quite scattered. It feels very scattered. And I'm being shown now, like if you've got a fistful of blossom that has fallen off a tree and you let it go in the wind, and it's all kind of flowing everywhere, which would look absolutely beautiful, by the way. But his energy is very all over the place. It's like he's here, there, he's here 1 minute, he's there the next, he's over here the next minute, and he's behind you the next minute. It's very scattered, and it's not straightforward, and it's not I'm not going to say it's not good, it's just scattered. And because we've got this young energy of all these pages, it's like he doesn't really know what he's doing. It's like he's just seen this opportunity for because we're in crisis, and he thinks, oh, I can sort it out. I'm going to sort it out. I'm going to get rid of all the migrants here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to solve all the problems. No, he's not. What we have to remember is he's human. It's a bit like, and I am going to do a separate reading on the royal family, I think, because that would interest me as well. But it's a bit like the royal family, when people say, oh, it's about time Charles, abdicated or whatever, let William take over. I nearly said Henry then, which actually is Harry. Interesting. Okay. Let's leave that there. Let William take over because he'll solve everything. No, he won't. He's human. He's not been put on this planet. He's been put on this planet, or come to this planet, to learn and to experience the same as the rest of us. If somebody could solve all our problems overnight, don't you think somebody would have done it by now? So we need to, what the fam is saying is, take these people down off pedestals. Take them down, because they are not going to solve our problems overnight. This is an awakening of consciousness, of expansion of the mind, and it's a slow process. And I can see what they're showing me now is, like in those movies like The Robe or whatever, like back in the day, where they were like 5-6 hours long, with Elizabeth Taylor and, Charlton Heston or whoever, although that type of era, and it was always the Romans, and they were on with the horses, and they'd have, those carriages that they would sort of stand up on, and with the wooden wheels and everything. I can feel like it's rolling, but it's a slow process. It's slow, and it's tough at the minute, and we're all feeling it. Definitely, it's draining. We've all had enough. We don't want to watch the news because it's depressing. Well, it's only depressing because they only ever tell us half the story. We never get the full story of what is really going on. Remember, lots of things are hidden under the cover of darkness type thing, So anyway, back to Farage. We've got Queen of Swords, Lion's Mane. His feminine energy is really showing up for him, whereas Rayner was in her kind of masculine era, if you like. His is the other way, with the feminine, the divine feminine is showing up. And this feels quite, the whole deck spread, I should say, feels quite feminine by looking at the cards. Yeah, Queen of Swords, he feels like he's going to come along now or step up and just cut everything, cut through all the BS, and it'll all be sorted. Job done, problem solved. He's waiting in the wings. You feel like you can see where this bird is sort of hiding. That's what he's doing at the moment. He's trying to he is moving forward, but he's also sort of hiding away. And we've got this other one as well with the Four of Swords, you see. It's like he's just sat waiting. Okay, they're giving me now the analogy of a lion, where it's just waiting in the undergrowth, ready to pounce on that gazelle or that buffalo or whatever. And it's just like it's stalking his prey and waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. We've got the Empress as well, which the mushroom in this or depicted is hen of the woods, female energy. And when obviously, as I'm reading these, I'm picturing what they look like in my head as well, so that I can kind of get a fix on them. It's easier for me. It's always, I'm quite a visual person. That's kind of how I learn, as well. So I've always been a very visual person. But he does feel quite, his energy does feel quite feminine, and that isn't anything bad or it just feels more feminine. As I've said, we are all divine feminine and divine masculine, but one or the other usually, can show itself more than the other, and it's absolutely fine. But yeah, he definitely wants to essentially be the Queen of the UK. He wants to really step into his power and start that moving. But I just feel like he's like that lion ready to pounce. And then we've got the Six of Wands with the mushroom red chanterelle. Fire. He's got fire in his belly. Ready and waiting. And I feel like, ooh, look at this picture. Hang on a second. Let me just tune in a minute. I feel like, yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness, I never even noticed that. That's the analogy that they gave me, but the picture is a different analogy. So we've got like ants. Okay, so we've got the mushrooms, then we've got ants on the ground, and this giant wasp thing has just flown in and pounced on an ant, as you can see there. So that's correct in the analogy that they were giving me with the lion in the undergrowth waiting to pounce on that buffalo or gazelle and zooming in, and that's it, going straight for the kill. And that is his energy. That's what he wants to do. He feels like he's just going to sort everything out. Problem solved. So let's get a couple of clarifiers for Farage. He wants to conquer the world. That's kind of his goal. He wants to start that new cycle with him in charge, because he believes it's going to be better. I don't know. We are yet to see if it will be or not. What I can say is that he is not going to solve all the problems of the UK. Oh God, the Chariot again. So look, the Chariot twice. This is, and we've also got the Well, which is like an additional card in this deck as well. I feel like he's, it's going to sound weird now, he's hiding down the well, ready to crawl out and kind of take over. that's kind of the image that I'm getting, really. But the Chariot twice, yeah, he's moving forward with it. He's not going to stop until he's done, or until he gets in that position. So let's have a look to finish this off at something a bit lighter, because some of that energy has been quite heavy. As I said, there's no need to worry because we are all protected. But let's just have a look. Let's take another deck and just wrap this up for today. And I might come back to this because it has been very interesting for me. Okay, there we go. Revolution. So, and imagination. Oh God, sorry, they're all going everywhere. These cards are gorgeous, but they're so ginormous that they're hard to shuffle. So we are starting a revolution. And we need to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. We need to make sure that it doesn't become violent, because that will never solve our problems. That is not going to help. Protests done in the right way with the right energy can be helpful. Otherwise, they're not. They just create more problems for us. Use our imagination. So think about what it is that we want really to help this country, and what it is that we want to help ourselves. Use our imaginations are infinite. We are infinite. Okay, there is no glass ceiling. The sky is not the limit. Our imagination is. Our mind is. So let's break through those thoughts now and start thinking about how we can help ourselves, how we can help our fellow neighbour and each other, and walk towards a brighter future. Because then when we do that, we all win. Okay, lovely people, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. I will do more readings on this subject and other subjects as well, because I have found it really fascinating. So I would like to thank the Spirit Fam, as always, and my cards for their assistance, and the Angelic Fam for their protection and wisdom and their love, as always. If ever you're struggling and you need some help, please reach out to somebody that can help you. Remember, spirit are always around us and within us and walking by us. They are only ever a text message away, as they say. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you feel inclined, please like, comment and subscribe. I would be really grateful, and it helps to get the message out to more wonderful people. Thank you so much. You take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.